Hello, children. I have a story again. Hello to all of you. Where are you watching me from? I always wonder. I noticed that some of the children that watch are actually out of the United Kingdom, which is all the way across the ocean. So, hello to you, all you children in the United Kingdom. And also, I got some children tuning in from Indonesia. Wow, it's a big, wide world out there, isn't it? I hope you understand everything I say. I probably sound like I have an accent to you. So, the story I have today is actually from the United Kingdom. It is called Pingu Has a Hard Time. Have you heard of Pingu before? It was one that my grandson, sorry about the computer pop up. It was one that my grandson just loved. He loved Pingu from the BBC network. Some of the stuff coming out of there is pretty cute and pretty funny. Let's see what happens with Pingu. Pingu has a hard time. Pingu and the doctor. One morning, Mum had to go to the dentist. Pingu and Pinga were to stay behind at home on their own. Good luck, Mum, called Pingu as Mum set off. Let's play dentist. Pingu said to Pinga, I'll be the dentist, and you just open your mouth. Pinga was a good patient and sat quite still while Pingu poked around in her mouth with a wooden spoon. Have you ever seen the show Pingu before? You know, the characters on it don't actually speak. They just kind of make grunts because they're penguins. And you can tell what's going on just by what they do. Also, for people that don't know, mum is the same as mom in the US. So, mum and mom, same thing. But when Pinga saw Pingu approaching her with Dad's work tools, she was very alarmed. I would be too. Just a little work to be done, said Pingu cheerfully. No, Pinga screamed and began to run away. Pingu chased Pinga round the house and round until bump, Pingu ran straight into the upturned table and squashed his beak hard against it. That sounds like that hurt. Can you see what's going on in the pictures? Okay. Poor old Pingu. His beak hurt a lot and was starting to bleed. Pinga wrapped it tightly in a bandage. You'll have to go to the doctor, she said. Pingu and Pinga set off together for the doctor. There was a big queue outside, and everybody looked ill and unhappy. Pinga marched straight up to the doctor. Help, help! You've got to help, she cried. Here we go. Can you see what's going on? So Pinga and Pingu set off to the doctor by themselves. Now, that's not always possible. You usually have to have an adult with you. The doctor rushed Pinga inside. Now, where does it hurt? He asked. No, no, shrieked Pinga. I'm all right. It's my brother who's badly hurt his beak. He's outside. The doctor fetched Pingu in from inside, or outside, I'm sorry. He tried to examine Pingu's beak, but Pingu took one look at the doctor's instrument and decided to leave. Hey, come back here, cried the doctor. So I guess Pingu got scared when he saw the doctor, so he started to leave. The doctor had to call him back. As the doctor and Pingu rushed outside after him, Pingu gave them both the slip and tore back into the doctor's house. Quickly he began to telephone Mum to ask her to come to the rescue. While they waited for Mum to arrive, the doctor told Pingu what a brave sister he had. And here's a lollipop for a good little penguin who opens her mouth nicely for the doctor, he said. So he's using the candy to try to get Pingu to do, what he needs to be able to examine his beak. So he gave Pingu a lollipop. At last, Mum arrived and patted Pingu's head while the doctor looked inside Pingu's beak. Only a sprain, the doctor said finally, but he'll have to wear a brace on it for a couple of days until it gets better. It was time to go home. You can look inside my mouth now if you like, said Pinga. The doctor smiled. I don't need to, but here's another lollipop for you instead. Why, Pinga's just making out, isn't she? She's got two candies now. She's making out like a bandit. I've got two lollipops now, said Pinga to Pingu on the way home. I could keep one for you, or I could eat it myself. Said Pingu. For his birthday, Mom and Dad had given Pingu a brand new scooter. Today, Pingu was taking it outside for the first time. He was proud of it, and he didn't want to get it dirty, so it finished the one story and starting another. Here we go. We can see Pingu going home from the... let's see. I'm always on the wrong finger. Okay. Right there, you see he's got the little gadget on his beak because he heard it. And now they're starting a new story. What do you think's going to happen with that one? It's his birthday. Just then a single seagull came by. It flew over Pingu for a while and then splat. Some droppings landed on the new scooter. Pingu couldn't believe his eyes. Wretched bird! Can't you be more careful? He shouted and waved an angry fist at the seagull, who was still circling overhead. So he got a brand new scooter for his birthday and a bird pooped on it. That's pretty yucky, isn't it? You can see it in the pictures. All right, what's going to happen next, do you think? Inside the house, Pingu carefully cleaned up the scooter so that it soon looked spanking new again. This time, he thought, it was safer to leave it outside. The seagull was waiting for him outside. Let's play together, it called out to Pingu. I know lots of good games. No thanks. I've got better things to do, Pingu shouted back. He doesn't want to play with that bird after it pooped on his bike. At least he cleaned it up himself. That's the responsible thing to do. Pingu made a large snowball and lobbed it straight at the seagull. Take that, he shouted. Don't be so cross with me, said the seagull. You were just unlucky. To Pingu's fury, the seagull stayed around, flying over him and jeering at him. At last it stopped for a drink. As it dipped its beak in the water, a lobster suddenly took hold of it and wouldn't let go. So it sounds like the seagull's getting a little bit of a hard time. Pingu misses it with the snowball at first, but then when the seagull went to take a drink, it's getting pinched by a lobster. I don't think that would feel too good, especially not a lobster. They got big claws. You deserve that, said Pingu, chuckling. But then he felt sorry for the trapped seagull and began to tug as hard as he could at the tail end of the lobster. When at last the lobster let go, it began to chase Pingu instead. Don't you touch me, cried Pingu, hurrying through his front door. There we go. So Pingu decides to help out that seagull. Well, it got let loose of the seagull, but now that lobster wants to pinch Pingu. I wouldn't want to be chased by a lobster. Pingu soon came out again carrying two large saucepan lids. He banged them together over and over again, chasing the lobster back into the water. Instead of being able to play outside on my own, I have to keep fighting stupid animals, Pingu muttered to himself. And just as he was thinking that, splat, some more seagull droppings landed on his head. Oh my goodness. I would say Pingu's having a bad day. More bird poop came down, and this time it landed on Pingu's head. That is not fun. So I guess that's why this book is called Pingu Has a Hard Time. Pingu was furious. I do you a good turn, and this is what I get in return, he shouted at the seagull. Mum came out of the house to see what all the noise was about. My poor little Pingu, said Mom soothingly as she scrubbed Pingu clean. And as the nice soapy water washed over Pingu's head, he soon began to feel ready for anything again. So, yeah, a bath can make you feel all better, huh? I know I always rest better after I have a good one. This one is called, so that was the end of this story. This book has, like I said, has more than one story in it. This one's called Pingu's Admirer. One morning, Pingu was ready or reading. I got to get this right. One morning, Pingu was reading his favorite book after breakfast. Just look at the time, Pingu, said Mom. You'll be late for school. There was a new girl at school today, and she watched Pingu admiringly as he sat at his desk and arranged his pens. Pingu took no notice of her at all. So here we go. So he has started school. Have you started school? And a young girl is taking notice of him. You must be Pingy, said the school teacher. Welcome to the school. Yes, I'm Pingy, said the little penguin quietly. I've just moved here. Pingy needed somewhere to sit. All the pupils cried out, sit at my desk, except for Pingu. He spread his things out to take up as much room as possible. He wasn't going to share his desk with a girl. Here we go. Do you ever have new kids come around? It's always good to be nice to them. You could learn a lot from them because they've lived in different places. But that's exactly what he had to do. The teacher placed Pingy next to him. Pingu scowled and grudgingly moved his things over to make room for her. Psst, Pingy, whispered Pingo from the next desk. Would you like a lollipop? Pingy wasn't interested. She only had eyes for Pingu. So here she's got a little boy penguin offering her a lollipop, but she doesn't want the lollipop from Pingo. She just has eyes for Pingu. A little langer, Pingy tapped Pingu and showed him a heart she had drawn. She gazed at him adoringly. Pingu was furious. I've had enough of girls, he growled. When it was time to go home, Pingy started to follow Pingu. Get last, shouted Pingu. If you have to go the same way as me, you can keep your distance. Pingy started to cry. So Pingu's actually kind of going overboard, and he's not being very nice to Pingy. Then Pingy decided to take her revenge. She hurled a snowball at Pingu. Pingu immediately threw one back at her, but oops, it missed and went straight through somebody's window with a loud crash. The door of the igloo opened, and out stomped a very cross penguin. Quick, said Pingy, let's hide in this barrel. Pingu leaped in after her, only just in time. So when he was mad at Pingy and he threw that snowball, he accidentally broke somebody's window. She helps him hide. Inside the barrel, Pingu and Pingy were terrified. They could hear the furious penguin shouting outside. Where are you, you rascals? I'll catch you and Make you pay for my new window. At last the angry penguin gave up looking for them. Pingu and Pinky crept carefully out of the barrel. Pingu dusted Pinky down, and then the penguins carried on their way together. At the crossroads, they waved goodbye. See you tomorrow, Pingy, said Pingu cheerfully. Goodbye, Pingu, said Pingy, delighted to have made a new friend. See, that's all it really takes. You just got to give people a chance. He didn't think he was going to like Pingy, but she actually turned out to be somebody to have nice, for a friend. So you got to, like I said, give kids a chance. You might end up really liking them once you get to know them. I hope you enjoyed the collection of stories. It was three different stories in there called Pingu Has a Hard Time from the BBC network. And God bless you. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good evening.